Hello my friends and welcome to another episode of Making Poor Decisions, where today I am going to be putting my jackfruit mead into secondary. I put my jackfruit mead into primary on May 30th, Memorial Day. And today is Sunday, June 26th, so it's been sitting in primary for about 4 weeks. It's a little bit longer than I typically put something in a primary, but I had a lot of fruit in there and it was really active for a really long time. I want to say I saw bubbling in the airlock for a good 3.5 weeks, where in just the past few days it started to settle and I started to see some neutrality here. So figured it's just about time to put her into secondary, test the ABV, see where we're at, and more importantly, see what she tastes like. So let's go ahead and do that right now. And I kind of pre-popped this lid a little bit. She was a little bit sticky. So I had to do some prep work here. And I did already smell this mead. And whew. So originally when I took the gravity reading, it was a 1.09. which I thought was kind of low for my typical meads, but then I realized that I never really put in a full 1 gallon of water. Usually it's most of the gallon because I have the honey in there. I'm using a 1 gallon fermenter. This is actually a 2 gallon fermenter. So I thought, like, okay, well maybe this is going to be a lower ABV mead because I used the same amount of honey but with more water. But I forgot to take into account the sugars of the jackfruit, and smelling this mead, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a high ABV. So I am going to test it. I'm going to get a gravity reading right now, but I'm going to think that whatever the gravity reading I get on this brew right now is actually going to be a little bit lower than the actuality, because as I mentioned before, I did not take into account the sugars of the jackfruit. Now the jackfruit, when I was originally putting this into primary, I've had it for a while. It was sitting in my fridge. It was actually, I think, starting to ferment a little bit because it was a little bit older. So I decided to freeze it and then defrost it and make a mead out of it because I didn't want it to go bad. If you've never had jackfruit before, you know, I actually got the full jackfruit. It's expensive. It's a lot to process, and number one, it's really delicious, and I didn't want it to go bad, and I always wondered what it would taste like in a mead, if it would work or not. So here I am. Is this floating? Yeah, sure is. All right, I'm going to get a quick reading of this, and I'll be right back. Okay, so my final gravity reading, or at least the gravity reading at this point, is a 0.992. So when I take that away from the original gravity reading, which was 1.09, I'm getting an approximate ABV of like somewhere around 12.86%, 13%. I'm going to round a little bit up because, like I said, I didn't take into consideration the sugars that were in the jackfruit, if that was going to do anything at all. It smells stronger than 13%. I have made some really strong meads in the past. I think my strongest brew was somewhere around 21%. And I don't even remember that one, like when I uncorked it, giving me that alcohol burn in the face quite as much as this one does. I mean, it doesn't smell bad. It smells very much of jackfruit. And actually, so it's reading as a 0.992, which is dry, but it smells so sweet. Like, it's baffling to me. So I'm smelling the honey. I'm smelling the jackfruit. And you know, the gravity reading is telling me that it's a dry mead. I don't believe it. So let me go ahead and give her a taste test real quick. Oh yeah, it's dry. It's good. I think I might add a little bit of honey to this because I would like it sweeter. Definitely taste the jackfruit on the back end. The alcohol burn isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's only 4 weeks old, so it still does have like that alcohol taste. Of course, it's mead, it's wine, it's alcohol. But it's not as sweet as I was hoping it was going to be. So I'm going to go grab some honey. I'm going to put a half a pound in there, maybe a little bit more, because I would like a sweeter jackfruit. Jackfruit is such a sweet fruit. To me, it tastes like bubble gum, but it's almost like pure sugar. And I don't think I'd be doing this mead justice if I made it dry. Now, I love me a dry wine. I love me a dry mead, but this is just asking for more sugar. So I'm going to go grab some more honey. I'm going to put this into my secondary container, and I'm going to be right back. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this bad boy wrapped. Now, I initially said I was going to add half a pound of honey. I went ahead and added a full pound of Wildflower honey. Nothing really spectacular, no special honey or anything. I just wanted to add a little bit more sweetness. And oh my gosh, can you hear my cat? Can you guys hear my cat? Very upset that I'm not letting him in today. But anyway, I wanted to add a honey that will give sweetness but won't detract from the jackfruit flavor. I wanted to preserve that as much as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and get all of this wrapped from this container into this container. I have a lot of liquid in here. I'm thinking I might have enough for I don't know. There's also a lot of fruit, but I have a lot of liquid to put from here to here. So we'll see what happens. I'll be right back with maybe 1, maybe 2 fermenters of this jackfruit mead. Let's see what happens. Okay, so this is all I ended up getting out of my 2-gallon bucket. Now, was there a lot of liquid left in that bucket? Yes. Was it worth saving? Not in my opinion. So it was mostly partially dissolved jackfruit, a lot of yeast. It was really, really cloudy liquid, way more cloudy than what I currently have. So I'm happy with the yield that I have. Normally when I put a mead into secondary, it sits somewhere along this line of a 1-gallon fermenter. So I'm getting a decent yield compared to some of my other batches. Now, I did put an extra pound of Wildflower honey in here because it was a dry mead, which is normally my go-to. I love a dry mead. I don't like sweet meads. They taste like headaches to me. But with jackfruit, I just needed some extra sweetness. It's such a sweet, sweet fruit. I felt like I was doing it injustice to make a dry wine out of it. So I do appreciate what it is for right now. But again, I just want to get a little bit more sweetness out of it. I think it would just make it a little bit better. Tastes like a delicious wine only at 4 weeks, so I can't wait to see what it's going to be like in another few weeks after I have it age out. So that's all for now. Like I said, I'm going to let this age for probably another 2, 3, 4 weeks, see what happens. I'm going to wait for all this honey to dissolve and incorporate into it. I know there's like a decent amount here that I really didn't get a chance to mix into it, but I'm not worried about it. It's going to incorporate, so relax. But that's just about it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned in about a month or so when I bottle this. Hopefully I get some more sweetness out of it. If you appreciate this video, give it a like, give me a follow if you like this type of content, blah, blah, blah. You know what to do if you like it. YouTube's been around for like 20 years. Anyway, thanks friends so much for watching. Have a great day and happy brewing. Come on. Come on. Let's do it. Want to be a big shot? Want to be a big shot? You want it? Come on. Oh, here comes the choo-choo. Spit it out, man. Don't, don't swallow it. Ryan! Did you eat it? Did you eat it?
I can't.
Just spit it out. Spit it out. Ugh.